Hello everybody, it's Niklas and welcome to this new video on Luminar Neo. And in this video we are going to see how to work with filters when you want to organize your images and when you want to add filters to search different images. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you like the content. First link on the description, the complete course Luminar Neo is available, so if you want to learn this software starting from scratch with a course structure, it is on the first link on the description. You will see the model session of the course, what you will be able to learn to work and master Luminar Neo. First link on the description. On the second link on the description, this is a website in link on with this YouTube channel. It is like an online school. In this YouTube channel, you can discover a lot of software and have some basics. And second link on the description, it is a summary of all the graphic courses, complete graphic courses available. So we are going to start with the filter. So first here I have different images. I'm going to select on this area one of my albums. So for example, I will select the Japan album. I will click on the Japan albums, and the first thing that you can do is you can organize here by different type of things, like the file name, for example. You can select the file type. You can select also the file size. It's not a filter, it's just to define what you want to use to have access to your image, to display your image. It can be by flag or it can be by rating, for example. You can also change the view if you want to have something bigger or larger, so you can put this. If you want just large, if you want small, so you can change all this type of size just like this. So after to do this work, you can add things like, for example, a rating, or you have also the possibility to set a flag. How to add a rating? First, you need to understand how you select an image. To select an image, you go left click and you can select an image, and if you want to select multiple images, you can press Ctrl. For example, with Ctrl, I selected these 4 images. And on these 4 images, I can define, for example, some properties. If you click here and you press Shift on this one, you can also select all the images between the first selected and the last selected with Shift, and here I have 8 selected. So now how to define a rate. For example, I have this one, I just go below and I can set a rating at, for example, 5, just like that. But I apply on the 8 elements at the same time, and here we have by rating, so this is why it's going to move. But if I change for file name, I will come back here. Something that I will do, I will just change file name or file tab. Yeah, just click here. So for example, you can just on each images apply a rate. So for example, this one I can apply 3, this apply 5, this one 5, for example. If you want to apply on multiple images, for example, I can select this one, shift this one. I have 7 images selected, and I can just apply a rate like 5, and it will be applied on all the images selected. Now you can deselect just with deselect here, and or you can click outside, and when you go here you can select, for example, you can use rating. And when you use rating, you can find the first images with a low value and the last other images with the highest value. I can also change at any moment, for example, the rate of the different elements. You can also switch ascending and descending as well. You will have also the possibility to add a flag. So for example, you can click here, you can add any image as a favorite, for example, or you can just click here if you want to reject the image. So I can click here to reject the image. When you reject the image will appear with, as you can see, not the same display the same transparency. And you can do this for different elements. You can also select multiple images. I can select these 8 images. And I can go right click, you have set rating, or you can set a flag also directly here. For example, I can use favorite, and I can select these 8 images. I can go right click, set rate, set flag, and I will define, for example, rejected. And this is the type of things that you can do. So after that, you can search by filters. For example, I can go in my Iceland folder as well. And I can select, for example, my first 8 images define 5. And I can select my 12 other images define 4. and I can select my 8 first images, and I can go right click, set flag, and I will select rejected. And I will select this one, right click, set flag, and I will define favorite. So now if I go on all my photos, just here, I have the option in all the photos to define some filters. You can click here, and here you can define the filter. Here it's just about the display. So here you can choose the display just on this area, and here you can apply filters. So in the display, I can just select, for example, file name, and in all my pictures, I can define a filters. What filters I can use? So for example, I can define a filters like a rating. If I define a rating, I can define, for example, 5 stars. So if I click on 5 stars, I can define 5 stars at the beginning. So here I have 5 stars, and all the picture with 5 stars will appear at the beginning. And it's not only at the beginning, it's just that I will have only the 5 stars because I apply these filters, and I have one filter applied. But I can continue with more filters. It can be also, I can complete with a flag. So I want the 5 stars, and I want also the 5 stars in favorites. So I can apply favorites as well. And now I have all the 5-star images with favorite, and I have 2 filters selected. But I can apply more things, like, for example, it can be a camera. And this is the different cameras that I use. I want also this use with, for example, a GoPro camera. So I can click here, and now I can reduce to 3 images. So this is how we can add filters. We have also more options like ISO. I can use, for example, all, and you can add more filters here. But here it is all, so it means if I select all, I will apply all the ISO filters, but I can apply also shutter speed, all, and I will apply all these filters as well. So this is why it is important you can search any images using filters. And like you can deactivate, for example, the filters that you need. Here you can also just reset all the filters, just like this. So now if I just come back to my image, if you want to remove, for example, information, I can click on Iceland here, and I can select all the image of Iceland. And I can go right click, set a flag, and I will use a mark. I can go right click, set a rating, none. And thanks to that, I remove the rating and I remove the flag of this one. I can go also on my Japan albums, and I will select the first image, shift the live image. I have the 20 selected, and I can go right click, set a flag, unmark, right click, set a flag, set rating, none. And thanks to that, I can remove all these different elements, and I can deselect outside, or just click here. So this is how you can add filters. So you need to separate here. Here it's just the display. It's not filter, it's just how you want to display your image. And here this is how you can add filters one after one. If I didn't add a rating or rejected favorite, I can come back in also any picture. So for example, I can select Iceland, and inside Iceland, or I will select, for example, Japan, and inside I can add filters again. But the filters can be just, for example, the camera. I can use one more time this camera here, and I can use, for example, one of the ISO, and I can select one. Here I have nothing because it's not what I was using. But if I select another one, maybe I will have access. But this one, I can just click all, and I will have all my images selected. You can see the ISO that I was using, it was a 100 just here. What does it mean? It means that if I select the ISO only 100, it's going to work properly. So I can go here, I can reset filters, and for example, if I go here, ISO 80, I will obtain this one. But if I select ISO reset filters and ISO file format, ISO and ISO 100, I will have these images, because when I click here, I can find the information I was using the ISO 100, just like this. So this is how you can add filters on this area, and you can mix the filters with a different type of elements. So here, for example, I will have nothing, but if I click on all, I will have these different images. So this is how you can add filters. You can select, for example, a camera, you can select, for example, ISO, you can mix with a focal length, you can add different type of things. It can be also a file format. If you need, you can select all the file format as well. So we are going to visit filters and stop here for this video. If you like, subscribe to this YouTube channels. Put like also on the video. First link on the description, the complete course. Luminar Neo is available if you want to learn this software starting from scratch with a course structure. It will be on the first link on the description. You will see the model session of the course, what you will be able to learn in this complete training course. We see all the organization part with the catalog. We see also the preset part, and we saw all the adjustment in the edit mode. Second link on the description, the website in with this YouTube channel. You can learn software, discover software in these YouTube channels. And second link on the description, it is a summary of all the complete graphic courses. It is like online school. You can pick a course and choose and learn any graphic design software. For next video, see you. Ciao, ciao.